Okay, now let's go over the repeated measures ANOVA. A repeated measures ANOVA has all within subjects independent variables. So there's 2 or more time points, 2 or more conditions that all participants participate in. So in this example, we have 10 participants. So we've got ID. We should probably change that. Let's do this, double click to ID. Then we have their knowledge about the product before and after, knowledge about the clients before and after, and knowledge about the actions before and after. Let's see, they're in some sort of training course. So we want to see if the training course improved their knowledge or performance in these 3 different areas. You can read more on the website that describes this. Okay, so we're going to run a repeated measures ANOVA. To do this, repeated measures factorial ANOVA. There we go. We actually still go to the repeated measures ANOVA for this. And we're going to have multiple factors though. So we have our first one, which is product. We're going to put pre and post. And our second one is going to be client, pre and post. And our third is going to be action, pre and post. Well, I guess it doesn't like me calling it pre-product, post-product. I'm just going to copy this. Pre-client, post-client, pre-action, post-action. There we go. Now, am I doing something wrong? Okay. You can tell I don't do this very often. Okay, so we've done that. Under area specified. Oh, I did something wrong. Okay. I'm going to just delete this and start over. I'm going to keep this up too. You can see all my mistakes. Okay. I should read my chapter before I try to record this. So we actually have 2 factors, not 3. We have time, pre and post. And that the fact that it was saying pre-post and giving the like, oh, it's repeating, that should have been my signal that something was wrong. But there we go. And then I don't know, what could we call this? Area is what I call it in the textbook. Oops. And then we are going to call this product, client, action. There we go. And so the fact that I should have known, right? So pre and post, that's the first part of the dash, product, client, action, product, client, action. And now my names match, right? So pre-product is going to go here. Pre-client is going to go there. Pre-action, post-product, post-client, post-action, right? So that should have been a hint for me. Well, it did. I got it too eventually, right? So we're good. We'll get to this when we get to ANCOVA / mixed factorial. So we'll ignore that for now. I like the generalized eta squared, and we can call our dependent score, or maybe performance. Let's do performance. Okay. Model, we've talked about this, how to build those models. We're just going to ignore that though. It's kind of just, we're going to keep the default. Yeah. Oh, I guess I do have it. You might have the QQ plot in the repeated measures ANOVA. We can actually test for a normality. It wasn't on my laptop version, I don't think. So, it's cool. We can actually test for normality now. Ooh. That's no bueno. We're just going to skip it for now. So sphericity test, though, we do want that. Let's just look at the sphericity. None of them are statistically significant, so we don't have to worry about any corrections. Good. Post hoc tests. So which one of the 2 main effects would we want post hoc tests for? We'd want area, because time is a 2 level, so area is 3, so we'd actually really want that. We can actually see what happens with the time times area to see where those simple effects are. Look at, we have all of them for when we do the time times area and see what the p-values are. So we can leave that in. We'll look at it later. Estimated marginal means, we want both of them moved over. Observed scores, and we can ask for the tables as well. Actually, I'm not going to get the tables. Let's just do the plot. Hello, puppy. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to them? Here you go. Here we go. Okay, so we notice how more conditions, more variables, things are going to get more complicated to interpret. So we'll keep this up, but we'll come back to it later. And I think this residual, group summary. What is this? Oh, okay, whatever. Don't really care for that. Okay, so let's start from the top. We've already tested our assumption of sphericity. We meet it, move on. Now we get to here. Now, it's giving us a between subjects table right now, because if we had a mixed factorial, there'd be stuff here. Right now, there's nothing here. You can ignore it. There's nothing between subjects to deal with right now. Rather, we have two within subjects effects, plus it's the interaction between the two. So time, and notice how our degrees of freedom now are different. Time, it'd be F parentheses 1 comma 9 equals 33.85, p less than 0.001, eta squared is 0.25. Then for area, F 2 comma 18 equals 26.96, p less than 0.001, generalized eta squared is 0.36. And then the interaction is also statistically significant. So we have two significant main effects and a significant interaction. Time, we can just kind of figure that one out if we had the pre and post for time. So pre to post, you can tell everything's kind of trending upwards. So it looks like, cool. The performance across time is significant. Post is better than pre. Cool. So we got that to write up. Now for area, that's a little more confusing, and that's where these post hoc tests can be really helpful. So we see that there's a significant effect where knowledge about the product was lower than client and lower than action, but client and action were about the same. And that's because these are negative. So client and action are higher than product. And we can check that here. Product is this one down here. So product performed worse than both client and action. And then there's a significant interaction where it looks like product also didn't seem to increase over time, but both client and action did. And so we could get that with all of this right here. So watch, pre-product, post-product, not significant, right? Client to post-client is significant. Pre-action to post-action is significant. So I was right in interpreting this, right? No significant effect pre to post on product, but both client and action did significantly increase. And then what else might there be? Pre-product to post-client. So then it's stuff like that probably wouldn't make very much sense to interpret. Like pre-product is significantly lower than post-client. Like, okay, who cares, right? The ones that I just interpreted are the ones that probably make most sense. We want to see how they change over time in relation, right? So product did not change over time, but client and action both significantly improved over time after the training. Okay, then we can write this up. So my graph actually looks a little different. I wonder if I can change it. Oh, you know why? Watch this. Watch this. Should change. So depending on the order that you put these in. Yep, there we go. And so we can actually do both, right? Time and area. Just drag them in here. And now we're going to get both. I'm going to get rid of this. We don't want it. So now we got both. So depending on which one you like, you might do either. I actually kind of like this one better because it really shows the things that we care about. Pre to post overall, but then product over time, client over time, action over time. Those are really all we care about. And yeah, there's a significant interaction and stuff, but actually kind of don't even care about this interaction, time by area. We just care about area and time. So, oh, actually, no, we do care about the interaction because area then would just be that overall product and client was over, client and action was over product. But we also see that client and action increased over time, significant interaction. Cool. So going back here, we can write this up. So let's put this side by side. We tested a 2x3 repeated measures factorial design, and I specify those variables to time, pre and post, and area, product, client, and action to examine how both time and area affected performance. Cool. Hypothesis research questions there. We satisfied the assumption of sphericity for all effects. Cool. So we don't need to do anything else. And now let's write up the first main result. There was a significant main effect of time. And rather than talk about all of the main effects first, I did main effect and then interpretation. So kind of different from how I did before. There was a significant main effect of time such that performance at post-intervention, I'll do this one, post-intervention, was higher than at pre-intervention. Okay, so that was me interpreting that first main effect of time. Now we're going to talk about the main effect of area. There's also a significant main effect of area such that both client, we can maybe look at this one, client and action performance was higher than product performance. Okay, so that's my second main effect, right? We have two main effects and then the interaction. And then, okay, such that client and action performance was higher than product, but there was no difference between client and action performance. Good. So I forgot to put that last little part, which is from here, that this is not significant. Lastly, there was a significant interaction between time and area, such that there were no differences in product performance from pre to post intervention, but there was for client and action performance. And notice that I refer people to see the figure, this figure. I don't know why I forgot to put the F test in, but it would be F, if we did in parentheses, F bracket 2, 18 equals 12.63, P less than 0.001, generalized eta squared equals 0.08. So I'm not sure why I didn't put that in there, but I need to fix that. I've got little things to fix in my textbook, haven't you noticed? But I refer people to the figure instead of trying to like really dive into it. It's just a lot easier. Just interpret this or interpret this, whichever one. I like this one better because we're not connecting by pre and post. We're connecting by the area. I think this one makes more sense. So cool. Hopefully that makes sense for the repeated measures ANOVA. Be sure to add your questions.